The world is taken back as China is openly declaring its ambition to become a strong, democratic, civilized, harmonious, and modern socialist country by 2049. The country's goal of transforming its armed forces into world-class forces has sent shockwaves throughout the world. This has raised eyebrows about the measures China may take to attain its goal of becoming a superpower. Not just a superpower, but the superpower. China's expansion of its naval capabilities started only a decade ago, but they are working at lightning speed. Why? One may wonder, is this going to lead to an arms race with the U.S. Navy? If so, how worried is the U.S. naval force? Remember, the U.S. Navy has traditionally maintained a strong presence in the area, but China's growing military strength may potentially challenge that dominance. Or does it? And what did China's President Mr. Xi mean when he promised his country a Chinese dream? Sounds similar to the American dream, doesn't it? Let us run you through the details that makes it clear which naval force is under severe threat and how they could be destroyed with ease. China's naval expansion. We're all aware of China's naval expansion. Plan is composed of 5 branches: the submarine force, the surface force, the coastal defense force, the marine force, and the naval air force. Manpower strength of 240,000 personnel, including 15,000 Marines and 26,000 Naval Air Force personnel. It has become the second largest navy in the world in terms of tonnage, which stands at a whopping 2,400,000 tons as of 2022, just behind the U.S. Navy. And it has the largest number of major surface combatants of any navy globally, with an overall battle force of approximately 350 surface ships and submarines. In comparison, the U.S. Navy's battle force is composed of approximately 293 ships. It's worth noting that China's fleet is expected to grow to 400 ships in the next 2 years, the report says. Meanwhile, the U.S. fleet sits under 300 ships, and the Pentagon's goal is to have 350 manned ships, still well behind China by 2045, according to the U.S. Navy's Navigation Plan of 2022, released last summer. China is currently engaged in the construction of 2 more carriers of its own design. These carriers represent significant advances in the plan's capabilities and are a testament to China's growing ambition as a global naval power. With these new vessels, the plan is better equipped to protect its interest in the Asia-Pacific region and to project power further afield. The Shandong, which is China's second aircraft carrier, has an estimated weight of 50,000 tons, making it slightly bigger than the Liaoning. It has the capability to carry a maximum of 44 aircraft, including fighter jets, early warning airplanes, and helicopters. The carrier is equipped with modern communication, navigation, and combat systems, which enable it to conduct various naval operations, such as air defense and anti-submarine warfare. The Shandong's air wing consists of Shenyang J-15 fighter jets that are modified versions of the Russian Su-33 design, specifically adapted for carrier-based operations. What about Type 003 Fujian? What is that monster capable of? Well, the Type 003 is expected to be larger than the Shandong, with a displacement of around 85,000 tons, and will be equipped with an electromagnetic aircraft launch system, or EMALS, which is a more advanced system for launching aircraft off the deck of a carrier. What's interesting is that China has set a goal to have 6 carrier strike groups up and running by 2035. This ambitious move is aimed at allowing China to project an unprecedented level of combat power to any location it desires. Pretty jarring, right? It's important to understand that aircraft carriers don't work independently. They serve as the center of a fleet that surrounds and defends the carrier while also delivering a significant amount of firepower that can wreak havoc on both sea and land targets, with a range that can extend up to several hundred miles. Who should be worried? The Chinese government has highlighted the significance of maintaining social stability and national unity as vital aspects of the Chinese Dream Initiative. However, the approach used to achieve these objectives, such as detaining Uyghurs and other ethnic minorities in internment camps in Xinjiang, has been criticized by the international community. These actions have been deemed as a violation of human rights and a threat to regional stability. Although the Chinese government has not explicitly stated that the policies in Xinjiang are part of the Chinese Dream Initiative, which aims to improve the lives of Chinese citizens and achieve national rejuvenation, some analysts believe that these policies, along with other measures like the crackdown on pro-democracy protests in Hong Kong, are part of a broader effort to suppress dissent and maintain political control within China's borders. Plan has also been involved in a number of territorial disputes in the Asia-Pacific region, most notably in the South China Sea. China claims sovereignty over much of the South China Sea. Plan has conducted numerous patrols and exercises in the area and has built several artificial islands and military facilities to strengthen China's presence there. Then we have Taiwan. China sees self-ruled Taiwan as a breakaway province that will eventually be under Beijing's control. China's President Xi Jinping has said reunification with Taiwan must be fulfilled and has not ruled out the possible use of force to achieve this. The best guess anyone has about China's ultimate intentions for Taiwan comes from the CIA. According to its intelligence assessment, China's President Xi Jinping has ordered the People's Liberation Army to be prepared to take back the island by force by 2027. It goes without saying that the South China Sea is a critical strategic region. U.S. Navy unfazed. As tensions continue to rise between the U.S. and China, the question of military superiority hangs heavy in the air. In particular, many are wondering if the Chinese Navy's recent advancements pose a real threat to the U.S. Navy's dominance on the seas. Some argue that China's growing naval power, including the addition of advanced ships and weapons systems, could potentially challenge the U.S. Navy's position as the world's most formidable naval force. However, others point to the U.S. Navy's long-standing experience and technological superiority as reasons why they remain unfazed by China's advancements. But as both nations continue to invest heavily in their respective naval capabilities, the question remains: will the U.S. Navy continue to hold its dominant position, or will China's rising naval power ultimately pose a threat that cannot be ignored? From aircraft carriers to submarines, the U.S. Navy is equipped with some of the most advanced and powerful ships and weapon systems in the world. With a fleet that spans the globe and a budget that rivals the GDP of many small countries, it's a force not worth trying to intimidate. In fact, many experts agree that the U.S. Navy's superiority is not just a matter of numbers, but also of experience and training. The sailors and officers who make up the U.S. Navy are some of the most highly trained and skilled individuals in the world, with years of experience operating in some of the most challenging environments on the planet. To put things into context, the U.S. Navy helped secure victory in 2 world wars and also the Cold War. Today, the Navy remains a formidable fighting force. Do sheer numbers equate to or parallel technological sophistication? Having more destroyers does not necessarily equate to maritime superiority if they cannot compete with the range, precision, networking, and overall capability of U.S. destroyers. The U.S. Navy, for example, operates 11 aircraft carriers. Plus, they're also arming its warships with a wide range of advanced technologies, including laser weapons, next-generation electronic warfare, and unprecedented ability to launch and control a small fleet of unmanned systems. All these factors illustrate that the U.S. Navy cannot be seen as inferior. Subsequently, Chinese aircraft carriers would be highly vulnerable in an engagement with the U.S. Navy for several reasons. The U.S. Navy can massively project forward-positioned 5th-generation maritime air power in a manner likely to overwhelm Chinese air carrier defenses. In fact, the U.S. America-class amphibious assault ships can deploy with as many as 13 to 15 F-35Bs, and aircraft carrier air wings can launch F-35C formations. If a conflict were to occur in the Pacific, the United States could potentially deploy land-based F-22s and F-35As from strategic locations like Guam or Japan. It's worth noting that Japan has recently made a significant investment in purchasing a large number of F-35, which will give them the ability to deploy their own advanced attack formations. This adds to the overall threat picture in the region and underscores the importance of maintaining a strong military presence in key strategic locations. It's possible that China may not have an effective response to the threat posed by the US and Japanese air power in the Pacific. While China is developing a carrier-launched J-31 fighter jet, which is a fifth-generation aircraft, it's uncertain how far along this project is and whether it can effectively counter the advanced capabilities of US and Japanese fighters. As a result, it's unclear whether China will soon have credible fifth-generation maritime launch threat to the US and Japan in the Pacific theater. On top of all this, the Chinese aircraft carriers may face additional near-term threat from the latest variants of Tomahawk missiles that can be swiftly launched by the US Navy's destroyers and cruisers. These advanced missiles have the capability to travel up to 900 miles while remaining undetectable by most ship-based radar systems, which, as you can imagine, can pose a significant risk to Chinese carriers operating in the region. The Chinese aircraft carriers could also face a significant and often overlooked threat from US Navy attack submarines and undersea drones. The latest Block 3 and Block 5 Virginia-class attack submarines are becoming increasingly useful for intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance missions due to their advanced sonar, quieting technology. These attack submarines can operate closer to high-risk areas with a lower detection risk, making them ideal for locating and attacking Chinese surface ships using torpedoes and undersea-launched Tomahawk missiles. Although specific details of the advanced technologies equipped on the Virginia-class submarines are not publicly available for security reasons, senior US Navy officials have revealed that these latest models have new quieting applications, coating materials, and antennas designed to reduce their acoustic signature and enhance sensing capabilities. But remember, this might as well be some surface-level information. We can never imagine the true power that the US Navy has tucked under its sleeves. Additionally, the Virginia-class submarines are now being upgraded with heavyweight and very lightweight torpedoes that can be fired from underwater to intercept incoming threats. In a recent interview with Admiral Samuel Paparo, commander of the United States Pacific Fleet, he stated that the US is here to stay, right in the South China Sea and in this part of the world, and I think that's the message that we really want to convey to not only China, but the entire world. We will sail wherever international law allows. When asked about the 688 class, he replied, "This is a 688 class, a Los Angeles-class attack submarine. This is the most capable submarine on the planet. With the exception of the Virginia class, our newest class of submarines." In summary, the United States recognizes the progress China has made in modernizing its navy, but remains confident in its own naval capabilities and strategic advantages. The US Navy undisputedly leads the world in terms of technology, resources, and global reach, and is supported by a strong network of allies and partners. Additionally, the United States is well aware of the potential threat posed by China's Navy and is actively working to counter it, particularly in the areas of anti-access and area denial capabilities. This includes investing in new technologies and capabilities, such as unmanned systems, cyber capabilities, and undersea warfare. Moreover, the potential for miscalculation or conflict in the region remains a concern, particularly given the tensions between the US and China over issues such as Taiwan, the South China Sea, and trade. While China's Navy remains a force to be reckoned with, the United States is committed to maintaining its technological edge and strategic position in the region and will continue to monitor developments closely. Considering all the facts we've covered, what do you think the world order will look like in the years to come? Will the Chinese Navy overpower the US Navy? Let us know in the comments below. If you liked this video, make sure to give it a like, and if you loved it, then please subscribe to our channel. By doing so, you will be showing us your support, which we truly appreciate and cherish. Keep an eye out as we continue to bring more entertaining and educational content on the US Navy, and other maritime topics, so hit that bell icon so you'll receive notification every time we post a new video. Thank you, and I'll catch you in the next one.